Rigel of the Denobulan race gaped in astonishment as the quantum viewing screen burst to life, unveiling the unthinkable. A small band of humans employing shockingly unorthodox battle tactics against the dreaded Zorlax. The esteemed Galactic Council had convened an emergency session to discuss the alarming reports emanating from the distant, war-torn planet, but nothing could have prepared them for the sight that now unfolded before their eyes. Captain Thomas Jenkins stood at the forefront of the human strike force, a fierce determination etched upon his battle-worn face. Though heavily outnumbered and outgunned, the audacious commander led his men in a daring display of ingenuity and fearlessness that left the council members stunned. Mining explosives were jury-rigged into makeshift grenade clusters, shuttle engines reconfigured for devastating strafing runs. The humans hijacked Zorlak communication frequencies, flooding the airwaves with taunts and disorienting heavy metal music that pounded across the chaotic battlefield. Amid the fray, Jenkins himself spearheaded a squad of volunteers in a high-risk gambit that showcased the depths of human unpredictability. With a series of precisely placed charges, they triggered a massive landslide that wiped out half of the Zorlak forces in one fell swoop, turning the tide of battle through sheer audacity and resolve. As the dust settled and the smoke began to clear, the astonished Galactic Council beheld a battlefield strewn with the smoldering ruins of Zorlak war machines. Triumphant hoots and cheers rang out from the battered but victorious humans, their improbable success a testament to their indomitable spirit and uncanny ability to adapt and overcome against seemingly impossible odds. Rigel leaned forward in his seat, his voice heavy with import as he addressed his stunned colleagues. The implications of what they had witnessed were clear, and the need for decisive action had never been more urgent. The Galactic Council found itself standing at a crossroads, the future of civilization itself hanging in the balance as they grappled with this new understanding of human capabilities. Would they muster the wisdom and resolve to respond swiftly and effectively, or would their enemies seize the advantage in the looming arms race that now cast its shadow across the stars? The coming days would determine the course of galactic history, and the weight of that realization hung heavy in the council chamber as Rigel called for a vote that would echo through the ages. As the council chamber erupted into a cacophony of urgent debates and fervent discussions, Rigel wasted no time in setting his plans into motion. He summoned Zara, his most promising protege, to a clandestine meeting in the labyrinthine depths of the Denobulan intelligence headquarters. Zara strode into the dimly lit room, her eyes alight with a fierce intelligence that belied her youth. Rigel gestured for her to take a seat, his gaze intense as he outlined the parameters of her mission. "The humans have proven themselves to be a force to be reckoned with," he began, his voice low and urgent. "We must understand the secrets of their success, and you, Zara, are the key to unlocking that knowledge." The young strategist nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities, as Rigel continued. "You will infiltrate their military, blend in with their ranks, and gather every scrap of intelligence you can on their tactics and capabilities. The future of our civilization may well depend on what you uncover." As Zara set to work, assembling her team and crafting her cover identity, half a galaxy away, Captain Thomas Jenkins found himself thrust into the unfamiliar role of galactic celebrity. News of his stunning victory over the Zorlax had spread like wildfire, and the people of Earth hailed him as a hero of unparalleled proportions. In a ceremony steeped in pomp and circumstance, Jenkins was promoted to the rank of Admiral, the weight of his new responsibilities settling heavily upon his shoulders. As he shook hands with dignitaries and posed for holographic press releases, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of a much larger and more dangerous game. Unbeknownst to Jenkins, the Zorlax were already setting their own plans into motion. In a shadowy war room deep within the heart of their empire, General Grolath pored over the reports of the humans' uncanny success. His eyes narrowed in a mixture of hatred and grudging respect as he studied the footage of Jenkins's audacious tactics. "We cannot allow these upstarts to gain the upper hand," he growled, his voice dripping with malice. "We must learn the secrets of their power and then crush them before they can threaten our dominion." With a curt nod to his subordinates, Grolith set in motion a web of espionage and sabotage that would soon ensnare the unsuspecting humans in a deadly game of shadows. As spies and infiltrators from all sides began to converge on Earth, the delicate balance of galactic power teetered on the brink of chaos. In the glittering halls of alien embassies and the smoky backrooms of interstellar diplomacy, whispers of alliances and betrayals began to circulate like wildfire. And amidst it all, an enigmatic figure known only as the Broker watched from the shadows, a cryptic smile playing across their features as they contemplated the myriad threads of intrigue that now crisscrossed the galaxy. The game was afoot, and the stakes had never been higher, as the humans and their newfound enemies and allies alike braced for a conflict that would shape the destiny of the cosmos itself. The clandestine machinations set in motion by Rigel, Grolith, and the Broker soon bore fruit. A cryptic message materialized simultaneously on Zara's quantum-encrypted datapad and Grolith's neural interface, promising revelations that could reshape the galactic landscape. The source? None other than the elusive figure known as the Broker. Zara's antennae twitched with anticipation as she decrypted the message. Across light years of space, Grolith's scaled fingers drummed against his command console, weighing the risks and potential rewards. Both, driven by duty and ambition, accepted the invitation. On Earth, Admiral Jenkins paced the secure briefing room, his weathered face etched with concern. Lieutenant Commander Ethan Reeves stood at attention, absorbing the gravity of their discovery. "We've detected anomalous energy signatures within our own ranks, Reeves," Jenkins said, his voice low and urgent. "The Denobulans and Zorlacs have breached our security. They've stolen fragments of our tactical data." Reeves's eyes widened. "How much do they know, sir?" "Enough to be dangerous. Your mission is clear. Find these infiltrators and neutralize the threat. Earth's future may depend on it." As Reeves assembled his team, the pieces on the cosmic chessboard converged. Zara's sleek Denobulan stealth ship slipped into orbit around a desolate moon. Grolith's Zorlak battlecruiser materialized from subspace nearby, and a nondescript human transport carrying Reeves and his operatives touched down on the lunar surface. The meeting point was a long-abandoned mining facility, its cavernous halls echoing with the footsteps of the assembled factions. Zara entered first, her lithe form cloaked in adaptive camouflage. Grolith lumbered in next, flanked by hulking Zorlak warriors. Reeves and his team took up strategic positions, their presence unknown to the others. A shimmer in the air heralded the arrival of the Broker. The being that materialized before them was unlike anything they had encountered, a Zethian, ancient and inscrutable. Its multifaceted eyes gleamed with unfathomable intelligence. "I am Kelnok," the Zethian intoned, its voice resonating on multiple frequencies. "I possess an artifact of immense power, sought by empires since the dawn of interstellar travel." With a gesture, Kelnok revealed a small, pulsing object that seemed to bend the very fabric of reality around it. "The highest bidder shall claim this prize," Kelnok declared. "Let the negotiations begin." The air crackled with tension as Zara and Grolith locked eyes, each calculating their next move. Reeves, concealed in the shadows, weighed his options. Before anyone could speak, the facility rocked with an explosion. Krill warriors, led by the infamous Vax Ildan, burst into the chamber, energy weapons blazing. "The artifact belongs to us," Vax Ildan roared. Chaos erupted. Zara's Denobulan agents engaged in a deadly dance with Grolith's Zorlak enforcers. Reeves and his team sprang into action, their stealth advantage lost, but their drive unshaken. Amidst the melee, Reeves spotted an opening. With inhuman reflexes honed by years of training, he vaulted over a fallen Krill, snatched the artifact from Kelnok's grasp, and signaled his team for extraction. As Reeves and his operatives fought their way to their ship, Zara, Grolith, and Vax Ildan could only watch in frustrated rage as their prize slipped away. Kelnok vanished in the confusion, leaving behind more questions than answers. Back on Earth, Jenkins received Reeves's report with a mixture of relief and trepidation. The artifact hummed with latent energy in a secure containment field, its secrets yet to be unlocked. "Well done, Reeves," Jenkins said, clasping the younger man's shoulder. But I fear this is only the beginning. As news of the artifact's existence spread, the Galactic Council erupted into heated debate. Some demanded its immediate surrender, while others saw an opportunity for a new alliance with Earth. In his quarters, Reeves stared out at the star-filled sky, the weight of recent events pressing upon him. The artifact's power could change everything, but at what cost? Across the galaxy, in the chambers of the Galactic Council, preparations began for an unprecedented summit. Admiral Jenkins would soon stand before the assembled representatives of countless worlds, the fate of Earth and the balance of galactic power hanging in the balance. As the pieces settled into their new positions, one thing became clear. The game had changed, and the true battle for the future of the galaxy was about to begin. The artifact hummed with an otherworldly energy as Lieutenant Commander Ethan Reeves supervised its transfer to a heavily fortified research facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Technicians in hazmat suits worked feverishly, their instruments struggling to make sense of the alien technology. "Sir, we're detecting quantum fluctuations unlike anything we've ever seen," reported Dr. Amelia Chen, her eyes wide behind protective goggles. "It's as if the object is bending space-time itself." Reeves nodded grimly. "Keep at it, Doctor. We need answers, and fast." Across the globe, in a secure bunker beneath the United Nations building in New York, Admiral Jenkins faced a sea of grim faces. World leaders from every nation had assembled via holographic projection, their expressions a mix of fear and perseverance. "Ladies and gentlemen," Jenkins began, his voice steady despite the weight of responsibility, "we stand at a crossroads. The Galactic Council has demanded we surrender the artifact immediately." A chorus of angry voices erupted, drowning out Jenkins's next words. The Chinese premier's hologram flickered as he hit his fist on an unseen table. "Unacceptable! We will not be bullied by alien threats!" Jenkins raised a hand, silencing the outcry. "I agree, which is why I propose to go before the council myself and make our case." The room fell silent as Jenkins outlined his plan. Eyes widened at the audacity of it, the sheer risk involved in threatening to activate an artifact whose power they barely understood. "It's insanity," muttered the British Prime Minister. "It's our only choice," countered Jenkins. "We can't surrender our only leverage, but we also can't afford a war we're not prepared to fight." As the debate raged on Earth, the vast chambers of the Galactic Council on Proxima Centauri Ba buzzed with frantic activity. Councillor Zix Nara of the Krillix paced before his fellow representatives, mandibles clicking in agitation. "These humans have gone too far," he hissed. "We must crush them now, before they unlock the artifact's power and threaten us all." Ambassador Thala of the Arcturian Confederation raised her crystalline appendages in a gesture of calm. "Patience, Counselor. Rash action could plunge us all into a war that would tear the galaxy apart." In the shadows of the council chamber, Zara watched the proceedings with keen interest. Her denobulin features were perfectly concealed beneath a holographic disguise as she tapped out an encrypted message to Rigel. "Tensions at breaking point. Krillix pushing for military action. Advise caution." Light years away, aboard his personal battlecruiser, General Grolath of the Zorlax reviewed tactical projections with his senior staff. A cruel smile played across his scaled features as he gestured to a holographic representation of Earth's solar system. "The humans have overplayed their hand," he growled. "While they focus on their foolish diplomacy, we will strike at the heart of their defenses and seize the artifact for ourselves." A chirp from his neural interface interrupted the briefing. Grolath's eyes narrowed as he processed the incoming transmission. Well, he murmured. "It seems our old friend Vax Ildan is interested in a partnership. This could prove useful." As plots and counterplots swirled across the stars, Admiral Jenkins stood before a mirror in his quarters aboard the UNS Defiant. He adjusted his dress uniform, steeling himself for the confrontation to come. A chime at the door broke his reverie. "Enter," he called. Captain Sarah Chen, his second-in-command, stepped into the room. "Sir, we're approaching the council station. It's time." Jenkins nodded, squaring his shoulders. "Very well, Captain. Let's go make history. The Defiant glided into its assigned berth, dwarfed by the massive structures of the Galactic Council's orbital headquarters. As Jenkins and his Marine escort disembarked, they were met by a phalanx of robotic peacekeepers, their weapons held at the ready. "Welcome, Admiral Jenkins," intoned a metallic voice. "The Council awaits your testimony." Jenkins took a deep breath, feeling the weight of humanity's future on his shoulders. As he strode towards the Council chambers, he activated a subspace link to Earth. "Reeves, this is Jenkins. Status report." Ethan Reeves's voice crackled through the secure channel. "Sir, we've made a breakthrough. The artifact, it's not just a weapon. It's a key to manipulating the very fabric of space-time." Jenkins's blood ran cold as Reeves detailed their findings. The power to create micro-black holes, to harness the destructive force of collapsing stars. It was beyond anything they had imagined. "Understood, Commander," Jenkins replied, his mind racing. "Stand by for further orders." The doors to the Council chamber loomed before him, ornate and imposing. Jenkins straightened his back, his teeth clenched. Whatever happened next would shape the course of galactic history. As the doors swung open, revealing the assembled might of 1,000 worlds, Jenkins stepped forward to face his destiny. As the doors swung open, revealing the assembled might of 1,000 worlds, Jenkins stepped forward to face his destiny. The chamber fell silent, all eyes fixed on the human admiral. Jenkins cleared his throat, his voice steady and resolute. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, I come before you today with a message from Earth." He barely finished his sentence when the chamber erupted into chaos. Counselor Zixnera of the Krillix leapt to his feet, mandibles clicking furiously. "Enough of this charade. The humans must surrender the artifact immediately." Other voices joined the cacophony, a mix of outrage and fear. Jenkins stood his ground, waiting for the tumult to subside. As he opened his mouth to continue, a blinding beam of energy lanced through the air, searing a hole in the ornate wall mere inches from his head. Time seemed to slow as Jenkins's combat instincts kicked in. He dove for cover behind a nearby pillar, shouting into his comm unit, "Defiant, we're under attack. Deploy security teams now." The chamber dissolved into pandemonium. Counselors screamed and scattered as Vax Ildan's Krill mercenaries poured in through the breach, energy weapons blazing. Jenkins' Marine escort formed a defensive perimeter, returning fire with practiced precision. Amid the chaos, Jenkins spotted a familiar figure slinking through the shadows. The broker, moving with inhuman grace, was heading straight for the human delegation. "Protect the schematics," Jenkins barked, drawing his sidearm and laying down suppressing fire. The firefight intensified, energy bolts crisscrossing the chamber in a deadly light show. Jenkins' comm unit crackled to life, Reeves' voice tense with urgency. "Admiral, we're tracking the situation. Hostiles have overwhelmed the station's defenses. We need to end this now." Jenkins ducked as a stray bolt vaporized the pillar above him. "Options, Commander?" "Sir, we can activate the artifact's singularity function remotely. It'll neutralize the threat, but the collateral damage will be catastrophic." Jenkins' lips pursed as he weighed the impossible decision. The screams of dying counselors and the relentless barrage of weapons fire filled his ears. "Do it, Reeves! God help us all!" Seconds later, the floor beneath Jenkins's feet began to tremble. A low, ominous hum filled the air as reality itself seemed to warp and twist. Pinpricks of absolute darkness materialized throughout the chamber, growing rapidly into swirling vortexes of unimaginable gravitational force. The effect was immediate and horrifying. Krill mercenaries, counselors, and human marines alike were pulled inexorably towards the micro-black holes. Bodies contorted and stretched, ripped apart by tidal forces no living being was meant to endure. Jenkins clung desperately to a support beam, watching helplessly as the priceless Council citadel crumbled around him. The singularities devoured everything in their path, growing in size and power with each bit of matter consumed. As suddenly as it began, it was over. The singularities winked out of existence, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. Jenkins stumbled to his feet, ears ringing in the eerie silence that followed. The once grand chamber was now a field of rubble and twisted metal. He spotted movement nearby, a handful of shell-shocked counselors emerging from whatever cover they'd found. Jenkins made his way towards them, clutching the precious schematics to his chest. A flicker of movement caught his eye. The broker stood atop a pile of debris, seemingly untouched by the carnage around him. Their eyes met, and for a moment, Jenkins saw something like grudging respect in the alien's inscrutable gaze. Then, with a slight nod, the broker shimmered and vanished. Jenkins' comm unit crackled once more. "Admiral," Reeves's voice was heavy with the weight of what they'd done. "It's over. The threat has been neutralized." Surveying the destruction around him, Jenkins knew that over was the last word he'd use to describe their situation. This was only the beginning, the match that would ignite a galactic powder keg. "Prepare for immediate extraction, Commander," Jenkins ordered, his voice grim. "And alert Earth's defenses. We've just started a war."
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. And for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.